Okay, we are in day 7 of Advent, and we are here to solve another Advent of Code challenge. We have done the first 6 already, and we've managed to get 2 stars every day, and hopefully we will be able to get another 2 stars today on day 7. So let's crack on. I'm using REPL.it to write my code, to write my Python code, and let's see what our challenge is today. So, day 7, handy haversacks. Also, this is about the time the difficulty is going to start ramping up, I think. So be prepared for that. Okay, you land at the regional airport in time for your next flight. In fact, it looks like you'll even have time to grab some food. All flights are currently delayed due to issues in luggage processing. Ruh-roh. Due to recent aviation regulations, many rules, which is our puzzle input, are being enforced about bags and their contents. Bags must be color-coded and must contain specific quantities of other color-coded bags. Did you get that? Bags must be color-coded and also must contain specific quantities of other color-coded bags. Apparently, nobody responsible for these regulations considered how long they would take to enforce. For example, consider the following rules. Okay, we've got light red bags contain 1 bright white bag and 2 muted yellow bags. Dark orange bags contain 3 bright white bags and 4 muted yellow bags. Bright white bags contain 1 shiny gold bag. And if you see here, light red bags contain 1 bright white bag. And if it's got 1 bright white bag in it, then it's going to have that bright white bag is going to have 1 shiny gold bag in it. Do you see where this is going? And then we've got muted yellow bags contain 2 shiny gold bags, 9 faded blue bags. Shiny gold bags contain 1 dark olive bag and 2 vibrant plum bags. Dark olive bags contain 3 faded blue bags and 4 dotted black bags, and so on and so forth. Faded blue bags contain no other bags, and dotted black bags contain no other bags. So they are the end of the line. If something contains a faded blue or a dotted black in this little test, then that's it. Oh God. These rules specify the required contents for 9 bag types. In this example, every faded blue bag is empty. So here it says faded blue bags contain no other bags. Every vibrant plum bag contains 11 bags. So where's vibrant plum? It has 5 faded blue bags and 6 dotted black bags for a total of 11 bags. We have a shiny gold bag. If we wanted to carry it in at least 1 other bag, how many different bag colors would be valid for the outermost bag? In other words, how many colors can eventually contain at least 1 shiny gold bag? So using the above rules, the following options will be available to you. So a bright white bag can hold a shiny gold bag. So if you can't hear, bright white bag contains 1 shiny gold. So that's 1 colored bag that can hold a shiny gold bag. Are there any others? Well, a muted yellow can hold a shiny gold bag directly plus some other bags. So if we have a look at muted yellow bags contain 2 shiny gold bags and 9 faded blue bags. So it does hold ours directly as well. A dark orange bag can hold a bright white bag and muted yellow bags, and both bright white and muted yellow can hold a shiny gold, as we've seen here. So if we have a look at dark orange, it contains 3 bright white and 4 muted yellow. So it can hold both of these, bright white and bright yellow, muted yellow, which both contain shiny gold. And light red can hold bright white and muted yellow, and both of those can hold shiny gold. So we've got bags in bags in bags here. So in this example, the number of bag colors that can eventually contain at least 1 shiny gold bag is 4. How many bag colors can eventually contain at least 1 shiny gold bag? The list of rules is quite long. Make sure you get all of it. Let's have a look. So this is our test data here. Let's pop this in first. Let's just pop this in our program. So we're going to go into 2020 and we are going to make ourselves some new files. So I'm going to say day7.py and I'm also going to say day7data.txt. And we'll pop our data in there in a second. I'm going to say test data is equal, you know the drill by now, and I'm going to paste those in. And oh no, I keep thinking I'm in a different text editor, but I'm not. I wish I could do a multi-line cursor. That would be amazing. Don't think I can though. No, it doesn't feel like it. No. Ooh, bad thing. Great. Oh, I can. Oh, fantastic! Look at this. Okay, fantastic. So I can now put. That is satisfying. Okay, fantastic. Now if I hit end, look at that. I'm a pro. I'm an absolute pro. There we go. So we've got all of our things stringified now. Let's just get rid of all of those, and let's pop this up here. So I'm just going to keep these on separate lines. They are part of an array. I'm just going to shunt these into this list here. Ooh. Okay, so they are part of test data. It's just very long if we were to put it on one line. So that's okay. Python will be happy with that. You'll be fine. So we've got our test data. Let's just jump and grab our puzzle input and get that set up. So here we go. Look at this. Look at all of this. This is chaos. This is utter chaos. Okay, Control A, as always, will select everything all the way down to the bottom. Control C will copy that, and then we can jump into revel.it and we can paste that into our data. How many lines is that? 594 different lots of bags. Okay. So here comes the chaos. Okay, we've got our test data. Now, what do we want to be finding out? How many bags can hold at least one shiny gold bag? Let's copy that. Let's pop this at the top. And let's also get the results of our test data. So let's take this and pop it in here. Otherwise, I'll keep going back and forth, and that'll be no good for anyone. Okay, and we'll just jump into basics and steal the start of that. Let's grab these two. What's in here? I don't know if I'll need math or not. I'll just get rid of it for now. Always put it back later. And we're doing day 7. If I hit run, it will run day 6. There we go. So let's go down to our replit file and let's change this to day 7. Okay, fantastic. So we are set up and ready to go. It is running our advent of code day 7 file here. We've got our test data. What are we going to do with it? Well, we need to chop this test data up. Okay, everything in our data here has 2 words that we want that identify what type of bag this is. So we need to get these first 2 words. We're not really fussed about the next 2 words, but then we want to split on the commas here. And then we want to remove any full stops. Okay, so let's write a function. And our function, let's put it at the top. I always put it at the bottom. It's bad practice. This is going to, let's say, convert data. And we're going to pass in our data. And we're going to do something with that data. Now, I guess the first thing we want to do is split it based on spaces. Yeah, let's split it based on spaces. That would actually be really clever. Okay, so we're going to say for item in data, item, no, we're going to say bag equals, or bag, let's say bag data equals item dot split. And what the split function is going to do, we're going to give it the space character, and it's going to look for every space in this string, like there and there, and it's going to pop the things either side of that space into an array. So instead of having this as one big string, it's actually going to be a list of individual words, which will be really helpful. Even this number 1, that'll be its own thing. So then we can loop through and we can actually kind of get these and start working with them. So we're going to do something that we've not done yet before in these challenges. I'm going to use a class, because I think if we use a class, it will be a lot easier to keep track of all of our bags. Bear with me. bear with me. Although, would we call it recursive? Let's not worry about that too much right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say class bag. So I'm going to describe to Python what it is to be a bag. What is the essence of a bag? And then we can make lots and lots of bags. It's kind of like a little cookie cutter almost. So we're going to use def init. And this is going to essentially, whenever we make a new bag, this little init function is going to run. It's going to initiate. And we are going to pass in it the bag color, I guess. And we're going to say self.color is equal to bag color. Okay, lovely. And now what we're going to do is we are going to say, we also probably want to pass it in the rules. Let's also pass it in the rules, which is going to be an array. I'm just going to put equals empty array there, just so I remember that rules is an array. Bag color is going to be a string. I'm just going to put the default value as a string there, but we will be passing in values. This will make sense, hopefully, shortly. I'm also going to have an array to store all of these bags. So I'm just going to call it bags, and I set that equal to an empty array. And okay, so we're working in this convert data function. Now, this class bag, it's a very small little class at the moment. Only a little two-liner, but we will add to this, okay? But the fact that we've got this idea of a bag is going to be really helpful for us. Okay, so for item in data, bag data equals item.split. We then want the first two words from that array. So our array is going to look something like this. Let's take this. It's been really helpful these last few days, actually just modeling out what the data is going to look like, both for me and hopefully for you as well. It is helpful. So we've got, what split's going to do is it's going to do this. It's going to turn everything into strings and annihilate all of the spaces inside this data. And what we're going to want to start with, this is getting confusing, so I've got commas in commas. Okay, that's fine. What we want to start with is to get this first two elements, because that is the color of our first bag. So what I'm going to say is bag color equals bag data at position 0, add a space, add bag data at position 1. So that's going to take light and red, and it's going to put a nice space between them and make that. And if it was dark orange, it would do the same, because dark would be at the start and then orange would be the thing at position 1. And so that would get us our bag color. Now we want to ignore these two words. They're just general English words that our computer brains aren't concerned with. And what we want to do instead is we want this one bright white, and we also want two muted yellow. And we want to keep going, because some of this puzzle input, look at this, dim tomato, that's a color. So we've got a dim tomato bag. So this can have 4 clear gold bags, 4 bright crimson bags, 4 light beige bags, and 4 striped white bags. So we need to keep going until we get to the end here. But here, we are only going to go once. And so what we need is a loop. We need a loop that will keep going through our data until it's found everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, we want to go to the end of the array. So I'm going to say for I in range, that's going to be our little for loop. And we want to go up to the length of our data. So we're currently looping through data. Oh, no, we don't. We want to go through bag data, not data. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Or behind myself. Honestly. We're going to go for I in range bag data to up to the length. But we're not going to start at the start. We've already got these two. We know we don't need these two words. So we're going to start at this position here, which would be 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to start at position 4. So I will start at 4, and every time we go around this loop, it's going to increment by 1. So what we're going to say now is, what we're going to say? Well, we are going to say if bag data at position I How can I test if it's a number? I could try converting it to a string. What's an easy way in Python to test if a string is a number? I guess I could just put all the numbers in as a string. That's a really dumb thing to do, but I think I might do it. So I'm going to say numbers equals, and then we'll just put all the numbers in. This is potentially very daft. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, great. So let's just pop all the numbers in, and then we can say if bag data is in numbers, and we can solve any potential headaches. So I'm pretty sure this can only go up to 9. I don't think there's going to be double digits. Is there going to be double digits? Let's have a quick look through the data here. Our code's definitely not going to work if we have double digits the way I'm programming it. No, it looks okay. It looks okay. Okay, yeah, it looks fine. We're going to say if bag data I is in numbers, so we want to know, is this one like this, or are we on contain? Because contain's not going to be in here. We only want to know if we're in this one, okay? And if we are in this one, then we're going to add to the rules here. So we're going to say rules.append. We're going to make a new rule, and the rule is going to be bag data I add. No, it's a list, isn't it? Bag data I plus 1. Because if this one is bag I, then this next one here is going to be I plus 1, and this one is going to be I plus 2. So then we're going to say bag data I plus 2. Fantastic. Okay, so we've got our rule, and then we're going to add our rule to this rules array. Now I need to establish this rules array at the top. So as we're going through the bag data, yeah, we're going to say rules equals blah. No, we don't. We're going to say that outside the loop, otherwise that's going to overwrite itself every time. Or do we? No, we do. We do want to start again. Yeah. Oh, I was right. I need to trust myself. Okay, then we're going to add to. No, we don't. Sorry. We want to get all of the rules, and then we want to make our new bag. That's right. So down here, we're going to say our bag is equal to a bag. And see, we've got this class here called bag. We're telling it we want to make a new bag. And what is a bag? Well, a bag is at the moment is a thing that has a color. So we're going to say is a new bag, and we need to give it its color. And so we've got this variable here called bag color, which we're going to give it. So we'll put that in here. And we're also going to give it some rules, okay? And we're going to tell this class how to use those rules. So a class is a bit like a function, but you're kind of modeling data a bit more, whereas a function just kind of does something. A class has state, so you can see here it's storing what color our bag is, okay? So we're also going to have self dot. I don't want to call it bags. I don't want to have to say bag dot bags. Self dot inside contains, and that's going to equal our rules, maybe. Is it? Or is it going to equal more bags? Let's say self.make children. Is that wrong? Make bags. Let's do that. And let's say def make bags. I'm going to pass in self. Oh, I didn't pass in self up here. For classes, you have to pass self in everywhere, and I forget it all the time. So we're telling it, whenever we make a new bag, we're going to initiate the bag by doing this. So as soon as I say bag here, it's going to run this block of code here. And when it runs this block of code, it's going to set itself its color, and then it's going to add all of the bags inside this rules array. We're going to pass that in there. And we're going to expect some rules in here. And we are going to say for I in range. length of rules. Now we're going to go from 0. We're going to go up to the length, and we are also going to jump every 3. Every 3? 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, absolutely. Because the rules are going to have. Oh no, no we don't. No we don't. No we don't. No we don't. They're going to be in their own arrays. So we're just going to say length of rules. I was making it more complicated. But we're going to make a new bag. But then we don't have the rules for the next one. Yeah, that's difficult. I've not thought this through. Okay, hang on. Let's just keep it at a bag for now. Let's keep it at a bag. This comment needs out. We might come back to that. So bag equals a new bag, and then we're going to add that bag to our array. So did I make a variable? Yeah, bags. So I'm going to say bags.append. The other day we were doing one on passports, and the word passport lost meaning after a while, and I've got a feeling that's going to happen with the word bag as well today. So we're going to add that to our array of bags, and that's just simply going to have our bag color. Now, why don't I just store the string as a value? Well, I can add a bit of functionality in a class, and it could be helpful, I think. So once we get the bags established, actually, what we want to do, what do we want to do? These are the rules for this bag, isn't it? Yeah, so let's just say self.rules. And let's just store the rules there, because that will come in helpful later. And let's just leave that there for now. Okay. Fantastic. So I think this is going to work quite nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to very quickly test what we've got so far. So I'm going to say, what am I going to say? Convert data. I'm going to pass in our test data array. So convert data with our test data. And I'm going to say, I want our bags array. At position 0, I'm going to print that out. And let's see what we get. Probably a syntax error. Okay, fantastic. So we've printed out a bag object and at this memory location in RAM. Now that's not very helpful. So what we're going to do is we're going to print out bags. We're going to say, let's take this. We are going to paste this down here, and we are going to say bag is equal to whatever's in our array called bags at position 0. Now it starts off as nothing, but down here we are adding to it when we run the convert data function. So we're saying bag is equal to a new bag. What's a new bag? Well, currently it's something that has a color that we store under self.color, and it has some rules that we store under self.rules. Okay. So I can now say print bag.color. You see up here, it says itself has a color, self.color. So if we call whatever we're calling itself, which we're calling bag, if we say bag.color, it will print. Let's have a look. Light red. And we can see here the first thing in this array is light red. So this is working. Fantastic stuff. Okay, so what we could also do is just quickly loop through the bags. So let's just let's make a quick function to print all the bags. So let's say def print bags, and oh, hello, come back. We are going to say for bag in bags. Oh, don't need the brackets there. And I'm just going to take this down here. And do that, and we're going to pass in our array there. So if I come down here, I can say print bags, pass in the bags array, bags. And it's printing light red, but only one's light red. This is dark orange. So I've goofed up on the loop. Yes, I have. For bags in bags, bag equals bag 0. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't at all. Let's get rid of that. That's a bad line. So for every bag inside our bags array, which is here, we want to print out its color. So let's run that. There we go. Now it's working. So you can see we've got all of our bags now. We've taken this data and we are storing our bags in this array, and we're modeling it like this. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to probably make another class. Let's call this class luggage. Oh, it's getting exciting now. So when we make luggage, we are going to initiate it with our bag data. We are going to make this actually go inside our luggage. So we're not going to call this convert data anymore. We're going to call this create bags. And we are going to say self.bags is equal to self.create bags. So we're telling this bit of luggage to run its function called create bags, and we're going to pass it in some data when we start, and we'll store it in self.raw data, I guess, equals data, and then we'll pass that in as an argument. So we'll say self.raw data. I could use it down here, but then I'd have to change the variable name, and it'd be a whole thing. Okay, so we've got some luggage, and the luggage knows how to create bags. So now, instead of coming down here and saying convert data, what I'm going to say is luggage is equal to luggage with a capital L. Also, when you make a class, it's kind of standard practice that you'll generate it with a capital letter. So we want to make it luggage, and we're going to give it the test data. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the print bags function also inside luggage. Okay, now I've forgotten to put self in here again, and it's going to complain at me if I don't do that. So I'm going to do that quickly before it starts yelling. Okay, lovely stuff. So we have now got luggage, and luggage knows how to initiate itself. It knows how to create bags, and it knows how to print bags. What could go wrong? We can get rid of this bags array now because we're storing all the bags inside luggage here, self.bags. So we can say luggage equals luggage. We can then say luggage, luggage dot print bags. And instead of giving it bags, we're not going to give it anything. We're going to say for bag in self.bags, and it's going to look at its own bags. How has this print line got so washed up in here? Sorry, print, let's pop you back up there. Okay, so we've got a class. This doesn't run anything. This does nothing. All of this does nothing. This code down here is where things actually start happening. Oh, hello. So we're saying we're making some new luggage. We're going to give it the test data because when we initiate it, it's expecting some data. We're going to use that data to create our bags. We're going to loop through all of that, make our bags, store them in self.bags. I'm not returning anything. Bags.append. That's because I need to say, instead of saying bags.append, I need to say self.bags. And instead of saying self.bags equals okay, lovely. So self.bags is equal to an empty array, and then we call this function, this method, it's called a method if it's attached into a class. When we call this method, it is going to update this array by saying self.bags.append, so add it to the end, add this bag in. Okay, so luggage.printbags. Let's see if this, if I've done everything right, nothing should change, and all this should just run. Yep, great, it all ran. Let's clear it and run it again, just so you can double check. There we go, it's all running just fine. So we've written this in an object-oriented way. So we have modeled what a bag is, we've modeled what luggage is like, and a luggage is a collection of bags. Okay, so once we've created all of our bags, we then need to kind of go through and add everything, because really, like in our test data here, a light red bag contains one bright white bag. And so then we need to find a bright white bag and see what that contains. So then we go to here, bright white bags contain one shiny gold bag, and then we know that we are there. So really what we need to do is we need to work backwards, I guess, and see if a bag contains a shiny gold bag. Let's do that. So when we are creating our bags, we need to make a note of whether shiny gold is in here. Okay, that's not a problem. So let's create a global variable called target, and this is going to just be shiny gold, because this is the bag we're looking for, right? This is our target. We are looking for shiny gold bags in the in this here. How many colors can eventually contain at least one shiny gold bag? Okay, so so now what we need to do is, if in the rules we have a shiny gold bag, we need to just make a kind of an account of that, I guess. So we want to say self dot contains target, and we're going to have that as a list. Also, let's put our target in the luggage. That makes more sense. Let's keep it all nice and tidy. So self.target is equal to shiny gold. Self.contains target. So if a bag in its rules contains shiny gold, then we want to just make a note of that. Or do we? See, part of me wants to, the bag wants to store what contains it and what it has inside it as well. Yeah, maybe we could do with what contains it. So let's do self.parent equals nothing to begin with, and self.children. Okay. So what our rules are is essentially just a list of our children. So what we want to do is we want to add them into here. So we want to say, let's do our make bags function. So children are essentially something that's just nested inside something else. So for instance, I'm referring to here where we've got 2 shiny gold bags and 9 faded blue bags. They would be children of the muted yellow bag because it contains these 2. And so it would be their parents. Does that make sense? Probably not. Okay. So for I in range, length of rules, we want to say quantity is equal to rules at position 0. Because when we make our rules, I don't know why I've called it rules. It's not a very good variable name. When I make our rules, this is the first thing. This is bag data I when we're making our rule here. So we want to say our quantity is rule 0, and then we want to say our color is equal to rules 1 add rules 2. Fantastic. So this will get us our color. And then what we're going to say is, I think we can do this. We're going to say that our child is equal to bag, and we're going to, inside this class of bag, we're going to get it to make a new bag. I hope it's okay with that. We're going to give our child its bag color. And we are going to say self.children.append. And this is going to be an array. Okay. Okay, so once we've got our children in there, is that what we want? No, actually, I guess what we want to do is we want to pass in a bag, and we want to add that as our child. Yeah, so we kind of want to go through all of our bags, don't we, in our luggage. So we probably want to say def organize bags. And what we want to do, what the aim is, we want to go through, and if we've got a, let's say, a muted yellow bag, we've got a shiny gold bag and a faded blue bag. When we realize that a muted yellow bag should contain a shiny gold bag, we want to take that shiny gold bag and we want to put it inside the muted yellow bag. So we want to loop through all the bags for, let's say, parent in bags, and then we're going to say self.bags, and then we're going to say for child, no, this is going to need to be an I jobby, isn't it? Yeah, for I in range length. Let's actually store the length above because we're going to use it twice. Length of self.bags. Length. Always misspell length. There we go. Length is equal to length of self.bags. Let's pop in length there. And then we're going to say for J, I know, imaginative variable names as always. It is a kind of programming convention though. Self.bags. No, sorry, length. I mean, it would have worked just the same. But hey ho. Now I is going to start at 0 and go all the way up to length -1, and J is going to start at 1 and go all the way up to length. And what we want to do is we want to say our bag, or let's say our parent equals what does our parent equal? Our parent equals self.bags I. And so our child is going to equal, actually, potential child. This might not be the bags child. This is a potential child. Don't you just love variable names? Potential child equals self.bags at position J. Okay, lovely stuff. So we're going through here, and now what we want to do is we want to tell each bag to check itself. So we want to say def is this my child? This is kind of what I wanted to say. I mean, that makes sense. It works. Is this my child? Oh, we want to know, and we're going to give it a bag. Okay, and what we're going to do is we are going to go through here. We're going to need this loop here. This make bags can actually go away. Don't use this. So we're going to go through our rules, and we're going to grab our quantity, our color, okay, and we are going to say if, oh, we need to put self at the start here. I've been burnt too many times by this. If the bag that we've passed in dot color, because remember, all bags have a color that we give them when we make them. If that bag's color is equal to the color here from our rules, then we're going to, we're actually making progress now. This is really good. For a minute there, I was like, I'm not finishing this. this is beyond me. Then we're going to add this to our children. So we're going to add in this bag. Fantastic. And we can run this for all the bags, and this should do everything perfectly, and everything will be fine. And everything will just be okay. Potential child equals self.bags J, and then we're going to say parent dot, what did I say? Is this my child? Is this my child? And we're going to give it our potential child. Oh, I'm probably the only one finding this funny, but you gotta make yourself laugh when you're programming on your own on a Monday evening. Okay, I've got a feeling like this is just going to work and everything's going to be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to print for bag in self.bags, we're going to print bag.color, and then what we're going to do is we're going to say bag. What I really want to say is bag.print. bag.print, and we're going to tell our bags, no, we're not going to print bag.print, we're just going to say bag.print. And we're going to tell our bags how to print themselves. So in here, I'm going to define a way of printing itself. So I'm going to say def print, and I can do this because it's inside this class, okay? If I did it outside here, this print function would be like, yo, what's up? I already exist. But because I'm doing it in here, it's bag.print, it's not just print. So I'm going to pop in myself and like that, and I'm going to go and print my color. So I'm going to say bag color, and I'm going to when I print, I need to be given a number, and this will become clear in a second because this is gonna go. It's really gonna fly. So we want to be given a number, and we're gonna set that to 0. So if we're not given a number, it will be 0, and we're gonna say. Now this is where it's going to get interesting. We're going to say number plus equals 1, and we're then going to say for child in self.children, we are going to say child.print, and we're going to give it that number. And we are going to print, let's do the hash symbol times number. So the very first bag is going to print with no hashes because number will equal 0. It will then add 1 to itself and pass itself into its child. Its child will then print itself. And so it will run this function as well, and it will have the number as 1. Now, if that child has children, the number is going to get increased to 2 and so on. And these hashes will show us how deep into the bags we are. We're kind of pulling bags out of bags out of bags, and it's getting pretty crazy. And so by doing this, it looks a bit mad, but actually, watch this. It's gonna be pretty amazing. Okay, so bag.print. Okay, great. Let's hit run and see what happens. I'm just gonna pull this out because it might get a little bit long. It's not happy. Okay, I should have known. I was too optimistic there. Bag color doesn't exist. That's because it's bag.color, you absolute dingus. It's not even that. It's self.color. Self.color. There we go. Okay, let's pull this along. Hit run. Okay, and it's not done anything I thought it would do. Num plus equals 1 for self. Oh, but we haven't. Okay, we haven't organized the bags. That's my bad. That's on me. So I need to say, after I created the bags, I need to organize the bags. Self.organize bags. Let's do that. And then let's run this. And it's not happy. It takes 0, but 1 was given. Okay, yeah, I need to tell self. There we go. Let's try this again. Okay, rules is not defined on line 13. I've really balked this, haven't I? I do apologize. For len.rules, it's self.rules. Also, yeah, you will always forget self dot all the time. I think it doesn't help that I've started writing these as functions and have now turned them into methods, and it's all a bit clumsy. Okay, well, bam. Okay, we're back to square one. So, bag.color equals color. Ah, color's wrong. I need to add in a space in the middle. Absolute rookie. Let's try that. Okay, that's still not working. Let's just print working if this ever runs. Run? No, that's not running at all. Let's print up here and see if this is working. Let's call this, I don't know, is working in lowercase. Run. That's never even working. Okay, interesting. So is this my child is not running? Why is this my child not running? For I length self.bags, so that exists there. We create the bags. We're passing in the data. Have I made the luggage right? Luggage equals luggage, yeah. So we pass that in, we create the bags, and we go through and we pop in our bags. and we give our bags their name and their rules. And then we organize the bags. So we go through our different bags and we check to see where parent equals self.bags I, self.bags I, potential bags equals self.bags J. Is this my child with potential child? And if it is, what do? I self.children.append. Why is this not working? Let's print color, although this isn't hitting at all. I feel like I'm missing something really stupid, really obvious here. Organize bags. So let's just print here. I'm going to have to go through and delete so many prints when I get to the bottom of this. Print organize bags. Is this running? Okay, this runs once. Let's run this in the loop and see if this is running. Actually, let's... Oh, we're printing color there, aren't we? And nothing's coming out. Or is this... Let's cancel this luggage print bags for a second. Okay, we're printing nothing. Great, fantastic. Okay, so this print isn't happening. So for is this my child just isn't running for some reason. Length of self.rules. We're giving it rules, aren't we? We're giving it the rules. Rules.append. And then we're not giving it the rules. I can't believe, what a dingus. Bag equals bag, bag color. When we make a bag, we need to be giving it a bag color and the rules. Of course, it's not working. Oh, what am I like? Okay, okay. This is all going to work now. We're going to get 1 million colors and workings print out. Look, no, okay. Can only, classic concatenation error there. Let's string this up. Wait, what? List? Can only concatenate list to list, not string. Self.rules. At position 1. How can that be a rule? Bag data I. Yep. That makes no sense. Let's print out quantity. See what that is. Okay. I've clearly confused myself. Let's print out self.rules. Oh, I see. The rules, they're 2 arrays. Okay. So I want to go through the rules, and then I want to say, so actually what I want to say is, for rule in self.rules, and then I want to say, for I in range, length of rule. All of this can go inside there. Everything will be much happier. Okay, so quantity equals self.rules, and then this should all be working happily now. Okay, line 16. Still not happy. Still a list. For rule in self.rules, for I in range length of rules, color equals, we want to say rule I. Rule, instead of self.rules, we want rule. Okay, we're getting there. We are getting there. We are getting there. Okay. What other mistake? Oh, no, I haven't made any mistakes. Okay, good. This is good. This is good. Working has printed out a few times. We've got different colors printing out. This is fantastic. So let's get rid of these print lines. So every time it prints working, we've actually found a child. So we're doing some good work here. We're finding these children and reuniting them with their parents. What a lovely time to be alive. So let's get rid of this here. And so we're going to now use this print bags function. Actually, let's just check that nothing's printing without it. I've got loads of debug stuff going on. Let's just clear this and run this. Okay, great. So we've got a nice clear console, and then when I run this, okay, fantastic. Can you see that? Vibrant plum. Okay, so that is a child of shiny gold. So shiny gold has these children: dark olive, dark olive, dark olive, vibrant plum, vibrant plum, vibrant plum, dark olive, vibrant plum. Okay, yeah. Sorry, so shiny gold has dark olive and vibrant plum as children, and dark olive has faded blue and dotted black as its children. Can you see the hashes there? They're actually helping us know what's inside what. So one hash, I can see that this is a child of the thing above it with no hashes, and I can see the other thing with one hash. So this dark olive, and this vibrant plum, they are all children of this shiny gold. And I can see the thing with two hashes, they are all children of the thing with the one hash above them. So now we've got bags, inside bags, inside bags, inside bags. And this has printed out a huge amount of data. I'm scrolling up here. There are a lot of children, a lot of children in here. This is good. We're on the hunt here now. We're on the final stretch. So we now need to go through here and find a shiny gold bag. Okay, so we're going to go through all of our bags in our luggage. So let's make a function and let's call it something like find target. So def find target. Oh, target. And what we're going to do is we're going to put self in here before I forget, and we are going to say for bag in self.bags. What we're going to do is we want to, what do we want to do? We want to say if self, no, we then need to go through our children. So we need to say for bag in self.bags. No, we need to say bag dot check children. We need to check the children. And what we're going to do is we're going to pass in that target constant that we put in at the start, so self.target. So we want this bag to check its children, okay? And we're going to say contains target. No, let's say let's just say count. Count equals bag.check children. Actually, let's say count plus equals. Let's keep track of it. And let's actually do self.count and store that up here as well. Start it at 0. So self.count is equal to 0. And then we're going to find our target. We're going to go through our bags and we're going to get them to check their children. Okay, so in our bag class here, we're going to write another method and we're going to say def check children. And give it a self, and we're also being given a target. Okay, and we're going to say for child in self.children, we are going to say if child.color is equal to target, then we're going to return true. Okay. We're then going to say if self.children, if there are no children in our array, so if the length of our children array, if length self.children is equal to 0, if it's empty, then we're going to return false. Hang on, I need to do that right at the start. So if we have no children, we're going to return false. If we do have children, we're going to loop through them. So we're going to say for child in self.children, if our child's color is the target, return true. And otherwise, if we get right down here, we're going to say return. What we're going to do? How are we going to do this? What I want to do is I want to say return child.checkChildren. Can I say that? Can I say that? Else. Let's have a variable called contain target. Contains target equals false. Right at the end, if nothing else works, we're just going to return that contained target. And if our child.color does not equal the target, we're going to say contains what we're going to say contains target equals child dot check children, and we're going to give that the target, and then we're going to say if contains target return true. I feel like this is either going to work really well or it's going to be a recursive nightmare and it's just going to die. Let's see. Let's find out. So how do I run this? So we're going to find our target. Okay, so once we've made our luggage, we're not going to print our bags. That's just kind of for us to debug things. We're going to say luggage dot, is it check? Find target. Find target. Okay, self.count, and then right at the end, we're just going to print out the count. Does this work? No, name count is not defined. That's because I want to print out self.count. Lovely, so it did everything. Didn't get stuck. 4, oh my God. What's the up? No, is that a fluke? That shouldn't have worked. That shouldn't have worked. There should be about 10 more bugs that I need to. That actually worked. I cannot believe that works. So this here is doing something quite clever, and I didn't think I'd be able to make it do something clever right off the bat. That's why I'm so shocked. So what's happening is when we tell a bag to check its children, it then tells its children to check their children. And so they get told to do this check children function. And if those children have grandchildren, well, then they're told to check their children, and so on. And so it keeps kind of boom, 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 boom. It keeps going round and round and round and round. And then it all kind of folds in on itself and returns all the values. And I really can't believe that worked. This means we could just probably plumb our actual data straight in, and oh my God. Okay, let's do it. So let's say puzzle data. Can you try and get excited now? This is great. Puzzle data equals helper dot read file. Now helper is for those not in the know, helper is a function that I wrote a while ago. I made this little file called helper.py, and in it is a little function called read file, although ref will it, someone show me it. There we go, read file. And so this is how I'm pulling in my data. So instead of having to put it in every day's code, I can just import helper at the top here, and I can just use the functions that are stored in there. So we're going to say puzzle data equals helper.read file, and it is in the 2020 folder, slash, so in this 2020 folder here, and it is slash day 7 data.txt. Now, the way that function works is it will split everything that's on a new line into an array. So our data that we get in is going to be in this format, and so that's absolutely fine. So instead of test data now, when we make our luggage, we're going to make it with our puzzle data, and that should be everything. Let's see. It's not optimal. It's taken a while. Is it going to give us an answer? It's literally grinding through this now. Yeah, we're making a lot of bags. This data set is significant, and so it's having to do things so many times. There is an optimization question over the code that I've written. But you can see here, by using 2 classes, my code is actually really simple. I get my puzzle data, I then say, this is my luggage, and I use the puzzle data for it. And then I just say luggage.findTarget. And so this is a really kind of elegant way of coding. It's not the best thing for every problem, but for problems where you're trying to think of actual objects and things that exist, it's easier to model. This code is really, really, really suboptimal. This is embarrassingly long now. It should be taking seconds at most. Even if it took a couple of seconds, I'd be like, this is not good. And it's because in here, it's because things are going to have so many children that they're all going to be checking their children, and it's just going to be an absolute nightmare. But hopefully it's going to get to the end. We're going to get an answer. We're going to put it into the best box on the internet and maybe get ourselves a gold star. I really hope. I really hope this gives me an answer. I really hope this hasn't just crashed as well. So Ravel.it is an online IDE, if you like, a place to write your Python code. And obviously it is using a server's processor, or I assume it's using a server's processor to run the code rather than my computers. So unless it is using my computers, I'm not sure. I have to look into that. If it is using my computer's processor, that would be great, because I want it to use my processor. If it's having to use the server's processor, so a computer's processor miles away, then there's going to be other people using it, and so it's going to have a kind of performance issue there. And so, as well as having suboptimal code, we're also going to be sharing time on. Is this even running? It is running. I've got the stop button here rather than the play button. Oh, this is embarrassingly bad. If it comes back with an error now, if it just hits an error, I'm going to be gutted, because this is taking a hot while. This is genuinely just becoming terrifyingly slow. I don't know. Is there some way? Is this my child? Actually, if bag color equals color, self.children, and then we should probably just return. Because what we want to do is, once we've added that child to the array, actually really what we want to do is we want to make sure that child's not in our children to begin with. Let's make while this is doing this, let's try and optimize this a little bit. Let's call this, I already have that child. We're just having fun now. I already have that child. And what we're going to do is we're going to pass self into here, because we're talking about this object. And what we're going to do is we're going to be pass a bag, and we're going to say for child in children, if child.color is equal to bag.color, then we're going to return true. Now I know I've just put another loop in, so actually this could make it more inefficient, but maybe not. Maybe it'll make it slightly less. If child.color is bag.color, return true. Else, if we get to the end of the loop and we've not found the child, then we're going to return false. And we're going to say if I already have that child, if self.I already have that child equals false. So if we don't already have that child, then we're going to check to see whether this is our child. Okay, let's stop this because it has taken too long. Let's see if the optimizations I've just made will make this run faster. And there is a thing here because I've not put self in. Where haven't I put self? For child in self.children. Done that. Okay, come on, be a little bit faster, please. So we should have a lot less children. 22. That can't be the answer, is it? That did not take it. Can you see? Just returning here made a huge time cost. And just checking, before I check whether this is my child, just make sure I don't already have that child in here. That's made a huge difference. That's made a huge difference. That made, like, the other one didn't even end. It took so long. Whereas this, it took maybe like 10 seconds, which is embarrassing still. But we got an answer, 22. It just seems too low. Like, we could have just brute forced this. I could have just started at 0 and just kept typing numbers in for the last hour, and we would have been there. Let's try this. 22. I'm not ready for this. If it fails, I'm not ready for this. Okay, let's submit. Dang it. Please wait 1 minute before trying again. See, it's not happy if we're going to brute force this. That's not the right answer. If you're stuck, make sure you're using the full input data. There are also some general tips. See, it is explicitly warning me about that full input data, but like, I took the full input data. I did Control A. Everyone knows that's how you get the full. So 5 striped tan bags. Let's just check that's at the bottom of our data file. Let's come to the bottom here. 5 striped tan bags. Yeah. Okay. So we've got that. We've got this. So we want to know how many bag colors can eventually contain at least one shiny gold bag. Now, all of these should be unique colors on the left here, I believe. Wavy olive. Yeah, it looks like it to me. And so our luggage here only contains unique colored bags. I'm thinking that we're not organizing our bags properly. Parent equals self.bags I. I've got a feeling I might need to organize my bags a second time. This could be really silly. This could be really silly. Let's just organize it twice in a row. That would definitely do something. I'll definitely do something. Actually, I don't think it will do anything because we put that if in. Let's see. Yeah, it won't do anything. But what if we now do, if I already have that child equals false, then we're going to do this. Else, what we're going to do is we are going to say what we want to do is we want to update child, I guess. Although these are references, aren't they? We're passing by reference, so that shouldn't be a problem actually. Normally it tells you if you're too high or too low. I don't think it did. I'm absolutely stumped here. This is I was really hoping this would just work, but there is something here. There's something that I've done wrong, and it is probably going to take me a while to figure it out, which is not good. Got a positive data. The trouble is it worked with the test data, and so maybe if I rejig the test data, that's a good idea. So let's put in the test data again, but instead this time let's just rejig this. So let's pop this at the top. Okay, hit run or still. Okay. Let's take this, pop this at the top. sometimes like the data is just in a convenient order where it just kind of works. So it did that for a couple of, look, there we go, 7. This is sub-ideal. The position of the data has changed our thing here. Oh, this is what I guess what we need is we need to be able to update our children, because our children are going to get children. But I think the issue is that we're not aware that our children have children. We're not aware that we have great grandchildren, and that's a bad thing. We should know that. These method names just look like the works of a crazy person. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to add our grandchildren, I guess. The trouble is, I thought when we were adding this bag, I thought we were just passing it by reference, which means that when we updated it later on, that would update itself. Child.append bag. That's giving us 7 now. That's why would that give us more? So our test data. Okay, I'm going to have a think about this. If I solve this, I will go through my solution. I'll place a follow-up video, but it's not worth recording this. This is going to drive me insane. I missed a comma in test data. Did I? Ah, I did. I did. Rookie error. Thank you. Okay, great. I'm back in the game. So that is working. So that's why that was wrong. Okay. So it's working with the test data, but when I put in the real data, it's not liking it. So when I put in puzzle data, we then get the answer of 22, and 22 just isn't right. It just is not right. Let's have a look. I don't know why I keep running this and expecting it to be a different result, 22. I'm not going to type 22 in here. Actually, what did it say when I put 22 in? Did it say it was too high or too low? That's not the right answer. Make sure you're using the full input data. Also some general tips. 1 minute for trying, you guess 22. Full input data. Yeah, I've got to be close. I've got to be real close. But it's just not happening. We're recursively searching all the bags. So there's got to be just a silly error that's throwing this off. I've got a feeling how we're returning here isn't strictly what we need to be doing. So for every child in our children, if child.color is a target color, good. If our child has a child that has it, then we're going to return true. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to end it there, and I will, if I can figure this out, I will post a follow-up. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully there will be a follow-up to this where I've actually solved this. Fingers crossed.